what happened?
It turned off for a second. Now it's back.
Primarily it has to do with the form of cooking involved. So Rashi on the Gemara has this problem. He wants to know, what is it about fire as opposed to sun? So he says the Torah only prohibited something which was derech bishul. The Torah was interested in a way. What did the Torah prohibit you? To cook in a normal fashion of cooking. But to cook for whatever reason. But to cook in like some outlandish way was not a problem. Even if you would take, according to the Torah, that sheet metal that was heated up by the sun would also be allowed. And there you can cook an egg completely. On the rooftop, you can cook an egg completely. I don't know if you want to eat it on the rooftop. With the sheet metal, you can start cooking with derivatives of the sun. The only problem is that it looks like derivative of fire, and the rabbis didn't like it. Right? So why is it again that you're allowed to cook with the sun and not allowed to cook with fire? Because the Torah said, the sun is not the way of cooking, and the Torah only meant the normal way of cooking. Came the Iglei Tal. He was a Sagachava Rebbe who was also a little bit after the Alter Rebbe. So it was a few hundred years ago, less, 100-something years ago. And he wrote that he disagreed with that reasoning. He didn't feel like that's the reason why. It's not that derech bishul or ein derech bishul, the way of cooking or not the way of cooking. The idea is the Torah only prohibited fire. It didn't prohibit any other form of cooking other than fire. Okay? Happened to be at that time that was the way of cooking. So where would be the practical difference? How would we apply this to today? I'll give you two examples. One is a microwave. A microwave does not cook with fire. Yeah, and it probably is, though, considered a way of cooking. Right? People do sometimes cook in the microwave. You make your soup in the microwave sometimes? If you didn't have no? What do you? Anybody here cook in a microwave?
Popcorn.
Not anymore.
Eggs.
Popcorn would be the.
Okay, good. Couscous can be cooked in the microwave. So it is called the way of cooking to use a microwave. It's not fire, right? Or we can use electricity. You heat up an electric stove, stove plate, electric element, the heating element that can cook, right? That's not fire. It might not even be derech bishul. Today it probably is when you have electric stovetops, right? So electricity is a way to cook. Our ovens, a lot of them are electric today, right? Maybe all of them, I don't even know. Turn out an electric element. You cook with it. Electricity is what heats up the coils, whatever's in there, the elements, and cooks your food. So if Iglei Tal was right, so would there be a prohibition of cooking with a microwave?
We use electricity.
Is there any way to use it without a microwave? I asked it last time. Any way to use a microwave without electricity? Huh? Timer? It's a different issue also. Is there any way, okay, let's just say, so I use a different example. I think it's a different example. Let's talk about basar b'chalab. Meat and milk, it's a Torah provision to cook them together. Yeah? Can I cook them together in the microwave?
No.
So according to the Iglei Tal, yeah, it's not fire. The Torah only also prohibited cooking with fire. I'd be able to make a business. Today I can't make a business. First of all, I'm not allowed to have benefit from milk and meat that was cooked together. I'm not allowed to eat it. I'm not even to cook it together. But according to this, I can make a microwave business of selling who knows what, of meat and milk together. It's only a rabbinic prohibition now. I can sell microwave cheeseburgers. I don't know who can eat them. Or I could do it on this electric plate according to the Iglei Tal. According to Iglei Tal, seemingly, I could take an electric hot plate and cook everything I want on Shabbos. I can put the eggs right on there. I can put a pan right. It's not fire. There you might say derivative. It looks like the derivative sun. It looks like derivative. But the microwave doesn't look like that. That's why I was trying to use the microwave.
But there's other forms of that, not because it's in an enclosed space and they're both filling up. So we know that it flows like into gases kind of thing, and they can mix like that. You know? That's like something else. Aside. If something's in the microwave, you've got two things you want to make, and they both heat up.
Yeah, but if it's not called cooking, then it would be allowed to cook, right?
Yeah,
The Torah wouldn't call it cooking, it would be allowed. That was the idea. But according to Rashi, where he said derech bishul, that the whole reason, what did the Torah want? We saw that sun is not called cooking, even if it has the same results as cooking. The only thing we're interested in is in the way of cooking. And this became the way of cooking. People cook with microwaves, people cook with electricity, and therefore it would be probably a Torah prohibition. In fact, the Alter Rebbe, when he writes in the Halachas of Shabbos about these laws of cooking and the way of cooking, actually says those words. Why is the sun permitted to cook in? It's not because it's not the way of cooking. It has nothing to do with fire. At least but that's basically how the law gets generated over the generations. You might be able to find somewhere along the way, if you would have, and this would go back to what you asked about the 3 and the 0, you might be able to find somewhere along the way that somebody might allow you to make your business of making milk with a microwave, relying on that iglei top. If you stand to lose a bunch of your Baal Tshuva and you already have this amazing business and you're making so much, right? You stand to lose your whole livelihood and standard of living. So they might say, you know what, I don't know if in Chabad, so he asked this question, he ran away, but in Chabad we rely more on the Alter Rebbe. What the Alter Rebbe says goes, basically. That's one of the final posek. If he says something, that's how what we abide by. But you would find that, Iglei Ta was a real giant in Torah. And even though we are strict like Rashi, where we say the main thing about cooking has nothing to do with fire, it has to be rather with the way of cooking, so we should be strict in microwaves and in hot plates and things like that, you might find in such a situation where we will rely on the Iglei Ta.
So it's rabbinic, like with milk and meat, it's rabbinic when you use, say, chicken. Chicken and milk is rabbinic.
So you can cook them together.
Right. I don't know but you still can't benefit from it, right? Or you can.
Also you can benefit from it. You just can't eat it. That's the rabbinic condition.
So if the whole not eating, if you're cooking with the sun and it's rabbinic, because the sun is similar to it, but then you're saying the microwave, you could actually get away.
I'm saying, according to the Iglei Ta,
you're just going to eat it because it's
according to that opinion, you'd be allowed to cook meat and milk together. You'd be allowed to sell it, which means getting benefit from it, right? You're getting money. You still can't eat it. You can't even eat one after the other, right?
So same with electric.
The same with electricity. That's right. Except that electricity, you might say, there's another problem that it could look like. If it's electric oven, you might not be able to see the difference between that. At least there would be a discussion about that, right? And that's how it goes from Moses, from Moshe to Moshe, to Moshe, to Moshe, if you remember all the Moshes in between, to Moshe David. Moshe David to go ask his local rabbi and figure out what he can and can't do according to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Maimonides, Moshe the Ramah and the Shulchan Aruch, and Moshe Feinstein, which is later in our generation, dealing with all these electric and discussions and stuff, and probably come up with a pretty clear answer.